How's everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. Started. Why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. How's everyone doing? Let's go to the full screen, or the full cam, full cam. Bringing down the music and switching some screens over. All right, fixing the camera. How's everyone doing, fellas? Welcome to the second stream of the week. Today was not so good for me. I basically gave back 75% of my gains from yesterday. Horrible day. I traded absolutely atrociously. There's no other way to put it. I traded poorly, got tilted, got emotional, started the day a little late, got into work late. That's the new theme for me now, getting into work late. Gotta fucking get into work on time. That's my first thing I need to fix my routine so I can get into work on time. Second thing is to not force trades, and forced many trades today. Was very impatient, was looking for another big awesome opening trade that I had like yesterday, and then using that to kind of carry myself over into the rest of the day. But sadly, any trade I took today was just horrible. Like, there was no setup behind it, there was no game plan. I just randomly took positions and then I lost on them, then I got tilted, then I took more random positions, then I got tilted more, and it was just a vicious cycle today of me being overconfident from yesterday, and then me feeling FOMO of not having to be able to trade the open because I got into work late, and then me using the FOMO to get into random trades, and then not having the patience and the discipline. So just absolutely horrible trading across the board. Can't wait to tell you guys more about it once we talk about my actual executions. Besides that, we have a watch list prepared for me, for you to talk about. So if you guys have any stocks for me to look at, throw it in the chat over here and I'll add it to my watch list. I see Victor's in the chat. Victor wants us to take a look at the AMR, Oscar, and ALAP. For sure, Victor, you got it. I've got money on my mind and mind on my money. Cash rules everything around me. That's right, sir. That's right. Josh is in the house, TH is in the house, and so is JVS. What's up, John? How you doing, brother? Hopefully everyone had a great day, a much better day than me. And let's head over to the full screen so we can show you guys Not a single winner today. Not a single winner. Let's show you the atrocious trading. Okay. First one is BMNR. Talked about this a little bit. Was looking for that $38 area to come into play. But something that I probably should have had was this little breakdown around $40. The opening range breakdown, giving you a pretty decent move into that $38 area that I was looking for. Eventually 38 breaking. That was where I had my alerts. And after my alerts triggered, I was like, oh shit, okay, let me quickly go pay for the shorts on the stock and see if I can catch the second leg on this name, because 38 was that major level. We get below 38, we actually push into 37, bounce back up, so I take some fills on that bounce, giving it an arbitrary 50 cent per share stop over there, just a random arbitrary stop. Thinking that the stock really shouldn't have reclaimed the 38 area and just stalled around this area so I can turn the starter size into a real size once the stock starts to hold sideways here, and then push lower for the next move that I was looking for. But however, that wasn't the game plan, so took my quick little exit. Was watching the stock for a pop back into pre-market lows, back into VWAP, and that played out exactly how I wanted it to. You got the pop, reject around that $41 area. 40 seems like it was trying to hold, which was the pre-market low, opening range low. So 40 was trying to hold, but then 41 gives you some sort of a double top over here on the 1 minute chart, using that as a reason to get short on the move back below 40 and risking the move back above 41 as my stop. You can see how, initially it does look good. You get a flush back into 39, but right here, as previously, when stock makes a run from 37 back into 40, rejects 40, bounces from 39, that's where you see the bounce again coming in, just slightly above 39. Again, pushed back down, but then holds 39 one more time. And you can see how that level basically was important for the rest of the day. We know that Peter Thiel is, invested in this name. So possibly Peter Thiel and some of his crony buddies and so on are, loading up on these positions right around the $39 area. So it's something to keep an eye out for. I think as long as the stock stays now above this $37 to $39 price point, potentially could have some sort of a crazy move later on down the line. If I remember correctly, the stock has to do with Ethereum and so on, and recently did make a monster run up into the $100 prices and so on. So holding this range the way the stock is insane. So watching BMNR potentially for the swing trade now, but as for the day trade, the short is honestly dead. There is no more short on this name for us to keep an eye out for. This overall was a little bit of a scalp, a little bit of a winner, but it doesn't matter at all, because overall I lost on this trade and I'm red on this trade, right? So wah wah wah. QuantumScape. Why did I say it so weirdly? QuantumScape. Day 2 trade idea, was looking for, yesterday was the first red day. We had that monster short opportunity on that first red day setup. So looking for the second red day. Stock pushes into the opening range, into yesterday's VWAP. Rejects yesterday's VWAP and struggles to get back above that area, which is 1250, 1270, and then pushes back below VWAP, which is right around $12. So as we push back under 12, I'm loading up into some shorts, looking to see if we can now get that second red day short opportunity to the south side. But remember, I said the stock was episodic pivot, so the chances are it doesn't really have a big second red day, and it didn't at all have a second red day. In fact, it might have had a new first day today as a complete reversal, almost a complete reversal back to the upside over here on QuantumScape, with a nice breakout of the opening range right in this area. Technically, had I not been so short biased, there was a long right here somewhere as the stock pushes back into the opening range high, breaks the opening range high but fails, pushes back down, but this time it's able to hold at the 9 EMA on the 5 minute and really grind sideways around the high a day, showing you that the buyers are now stepping up above $12, closer to $12.60, $12.70, $13, and they are looking to buy back this position that they might have dumped yesterday. So insanely strong name today, even off the open. How weak the market originally was, QuantumScape wasn't weak at all. I think, you know, given how weak the market was off the open, that kind of got my you know, got me a little excited and looking for that extreme shorts across the board, and thinking that I was going to really print today. So market kind of taught me a lesson over there too, to kind of like, hey, just because the market's selling off doesn't mean you're gonna be able to just blindly short anything and everything and make money. You gotta still look for setups. You gotta still be patient and you know, stick to the plans that actually work for you. Just doing random things like what the hell? That is not a problem. This is fine, but what the hell is this? Right? What the hell is what is this? This is fine, but what the heck is this? It's like almost every single first trade I had today was just stupid. Like, what the heck is this? Right? What is this? Let's talk about it. Next stock, RKLB, another name watching in that, you know, looking for a stock that's been run up recently, but then sold off. Or sorry, not sold off, and looking for it to sell off. So run up recently and looking for it to sell off. There was a trade right here as the opening range breakout, and instead I just waited for like the even dollar area, took the even $1.45 breakdown. I was a little bit in the money, wasn't quick enough to get out, and then basically took the out as the stock moved back to the upside. And then FOMOing into some entries, and then quickly taking the exit as realizing that, hey, what you're doing is stupid. Just stop trying to make up a trade that's not even there. There was a trade here, but a stock basically reverted and is now trading above VWAP for the rest of the day. So that opening range breakdown basically completely negated by the sellers, negated by the buyers. Buyers coming in and showing you that selling is not the right answer on RKLB. So little over biased on all of these names, I guess, especially from yesterday after having a nice green day yesterday. Having overconfidence from that, completely ruining the day today because of that. Roblox, we talked about this one, looking for the stock to get back under 121 area, which would basically be the last 2 days low. So getting back below 121, there was maybe an opening range breakdown here, but no volume really around that time of the day for me to even be interested. So Roblox took that 121 breakdown, quickly scalped on the profits, and then said, okay, thank you for my first win of the day. Let's see if we can catch the second leg. So on every pop and fail, I wanted to try and add to this position, but one thing that kind of kept showing up is we were not really going back into the lower day test. Every time the stock pushed into 119, it would just bounce right back to the upside. So multiple times seeing that, I said, okay, you know what, this is not we're not going to add to this trade anymore. We're just going to hold on to our stops. So whatever size I had here, I got stopped out, and then whatever size I had here, I got stopped out over here. However, I had plenty of time to scalp for profits. I think Lads talks about this, you know, trading around the core position. So get short, take your profits on the drops, and then get back short on the pops, take your profits on the drops, and then you keep trading the range. But at the same time, I don't think maybe that's not what he actually means, but that's something that I want to get better at doing. Trading the range, making that money while the stock is basically being in no man's land and absolutely being dead and boring. Make that money in the no man's land. That way, when I am wrong, I take my tiny loss for the core position, and the scalping back and forth in that range makes up for it. And if the stock actually ends up being right for me, where it breaks down below the day's low and continues for the second leg to the south side, if that ends up playing out, then you know, I end up actually making more money, because not only did I make money in this churn and burn sideways action by shorting the pops and covering on the drops, I also get to add the size back on the breakdown and then look for the next leg move. So just an idea of something that I want to get better at. Roblox today, however, gave back all of my profits that I made on the original short later on this move over here. Hurt. Micron, no real trade other than, I mean, no volume today. No real reason to even trade Micron other than the fact that, I'm just trying to roll the dice and get lucky, see if I can make money on this name and make some money back because I've been just getting beat up no matter where I touched. There was a little bit of a range over here. You could call it a Spencer scalp was being formed. You could say, an opening range breakout was also being formed. But at the time, the market was actually holding above VWAP. Had the market sold below VWAP, I think this trade could have had another leg down. But because the market didn't really push to the downside, I think Nvidia was also at this point of day reversing back to the upside, or already was reversed. And was now trading above its own VWAP. So looking at the other semiconductor variables, this just wasn't looking like it was going to have any more juice. So taking my quick stops instead of giving it a move back to VWAP or whatever, taking the quick stops and losing more money on the day, sadly. On Micron, the only trade I'm honestly kind of happy with and okay with, but then also at the same time not happy with, is the fact that I didn't take any trades in this area. So let's talk about LMT. They reported earnings very, very weak, clearly, after pushing into a daily level low. We break the daily level low, pop back into the opening range low, and set up for some sort of a second chance scalp almost. So I take my entry on the second chance scalps entry trade idea, looking for the next leg over here. Sadly, no follow through. Take my stop, take my beating on this one, move on. That was like a $3 per share beating on this position. Awesome. But later on, the trade that sets up was very similar to how I traded Jobby yesterday, which was a VWAP continuation. The stock pulls back to VWAP or slightly below VWAP, trades sideways. You can see a battle between a seller in this area and then a buyer also in this area. Eventually the buyer cracks and you get short as the buyer cracks, allowing you to get that next leg to the south side. And I was a little tilted on the day by this point. I said, screw it. I'm just going to focus on the name that's, a little bit more in focus, I guess, because more in play, I guess, because it's getting added to the S&P 500 index. So I'll focus on this at that point, and I'll also watch some Lance videos instead of, losing more money on the day. So made a bad decision over there. The only time I really should have traded and gone hard is the time I step back, because I'm trading emotionally and I'm trading tilted, and cost me possibly what could have been the reversal trade for me on the day and the comeback trade for me on the day. So sucks to suck again over there. Let me quickly open up. I don't think I posted XYZ's chart because I don't see it here. Yeah, I don't think I see XYZ chart. And there we go. XYZ, nice little range forming right below days, right at the high of day. So basically taking the high of day breakout, giving the range as a stop. I could have stopped out much earlier, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it that wide risk and see what happens. Obviously, nothing good happened on that side. Could I have gotten on the dips? Yes, but, the people say this is no man's land. So instead of fighting in no man's land, I thought I was doing the right thing, which was wait for the breakout. I took the breakout, but if I guess that's the case, then you should have used a breakout stop instead of a swing stop, I guess. So couple ideas to think about over there. I don't know. So I am pretty upset about this trade. I should have taken that stop over there for sure. Later on, looking for the stock to basically push back into the high day, because it's supposed to get added to the S&P 500 index. Like, come on, let's go higher. Let's rip to the north side. Let's make some money. Sadly, nope, we don't really make any money on this trade. I guess we make a little bit of money, but not too much money on this trade at all. And that is all she wrote for today's Prad's chart review. Hopefully you guys learned a thing or two. There's a lot to learn here on what not to do Yesterday was a showcase on exactly what to do for the first red day setup. And today is a showcase of exactly what not to do ever at all. Ever at all. How crazy things can change in a day, huh? One day you're absolutely a legend. You're a god. You're pulling off insane executions. The next day, it's like, do I even know how to trade? Hello? Like, what just happened? Who was trading today? Who took over my body and who pushed all the buttons for me? Obviously not using that as an excuse to blame somebody else for my losses, but boy, would that be nice. Okay. Our good friend Victor wants me to take a look at AMR, Oscar, ALAB. Yes, we'll put that on the watch list. Along with that, I'm going to put NVIDIA, Google, Amazon. A lot of stocks pulled back today. So Palantir, Hood, SMCI, QuantumScape's already on there. IonQ, maybe. Shopify probably pulled back. I can't really remember all the important names for me. Also, I got liquidated on a lot of names today. Well, not liquidated. A lot of my stops triggered today on my swing account. So I have more money to swing trade now, which is awesome. But it's sad to see all these positions kind of trigger these stops, man. You know, so far we've been having a great ride on the swing account, but a lot of stocks triggering stops. So time to look for new positions, new opportunities. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, the new theme in the market, you know, the market is so good at the moment, and that's why we're seeing people buy stocks like GME, stocks like KSS, stocks like Donut, Krispy Kreme, although there's nothing wrong with Krispy Kreme. That's today's thumbnail. For those of you who are watching me on non-YouTube. Let me quickly close that. Yes, save that. Okay. What am I trying to do? I completely zoned out. Damn it. What was I trying to do, chat? Okay, I was gonna try and pull up a chart for Donut. So DNUT, one of those you know, high short float names. Actually, maybe we should do this. Hold up, let me open a new tab real quick. Well, we don't need this tab anymore. Let's go to Connor, young Connor Bates. I don't know how old he is, but I think he's young. He seems pretty young. But I want to see these names over here. So FFAI, I thought it was FFIE. Wasn't Faraday FFIE? Oh, they probably changed it to have AI in their name. Genius. Genius. Okay, so these are your high short float companies. Sadly, I don't see exactly how much the short float is, but these are the top 20 high short float stocks, starting with FFAI, KSS, PLCE. Oh, completely forgot about PLCE. Donut in that name, AEHR, Aher Test Systems. We have a pretty good list of stocks over here to potentially keep an eye on. On top of that, we already have a good list of stocks to keep an eye out for on the earnings board tomorrow, like GE Veranova, Amphenol. I don't even know what that stock is, but looking at a quick little daily chart, I think that one deserves to be on the watch list for the day trade. Maybe even on the swing side too. We'll keep an eye out for that. AT&T, Thermo Fisher Scientific, Fiserv. I don't even know what they do, but I like the chart, so we'll put it on there. Hasbro, obviously I know what Hasbro is. Knee Energy, General Dynamics. Coca-Cola didn't really do anything too exciting, but we do have names like Philip Morris, Lockheed Martin, GM, and RTX, all which moved to the downside drastically. I think NOC actually went higher, but that's a high price name. I don't really day trade high prices names. CLF gave you a pretty good day too. For those of you who are still long on that name, shout out to you on that one. Yeah, that's basically the watch list for today. Let's quickly start looking at some of the stocks that reported earnings today after hours, starting with ENPH, Capital One, I think is also on the watch list, and Texas Instruments. COF, yes, we do have COF on the watch list because I do like the fact that it's a nice tight flag I guess you could call it a type flag. Nice type flag into an all-time high over here as the stock is breaking out on the earnings report. So breakout above the all-time high. We'll see if there is a continuation for us on the dips. Support on the dips for us to ride back to the upside on COF. So the main important level, obviously, for resistance that you want to see, for support that you want to see is $222. If the stock is struggling to stay above 222, there could be a short, but if you look back on the daily chart, look how much buying has previously shown up in this area. So I would rather wait for the stock to get below 213 to look for that bigger explosive day trade to the downside for the short side. There is a setup which is a failed all-time high breakout, which could give you a good enough ATR based on whatever the stock's ATR is. So it could give you a 2 ATR move from that failed breakout to the upside as a reversal. But looking at how clean this hold looks at the moment, I'm not sure you're gonna get that clean of a downside move on the stock. Now, obviously, one important thing would be the earnings report. So for that, I'm gonna pull in our good friends Benzinga. Usually, I'll pull in, Perplexity. But first, we'll pull in Benzinga because they are our sponsor of today's earnings segment. If you guys are interested in this awesome tool, not only for earnings reports and news, I listen to them daily for the squawk. There's also charting tools, graphs, heat maps, AI capabilities, and all sorts of fun stuff. So check out Benzinga, link in the description below. Quickly pulling up the earnings report for, I completely forgot the name, COF, Capital One Financial. Missed. Despite revenue, stock is climbing. Okay, let's continue reading this. Released its second quarter results after Tuesday's closing bell. Here's a look at the key figures. Quarterly earnings 5.48, which beat the estimates of 3.59. That's a huge beat. Quarterly revenue 12.49, which missed the estimates of 12.55. Can I see same period last year, sir? I guess not. Total net revenue increased by 25% from the previous quarter. Not bad at all. Total non-interest expenses increased by 18%. 12% increase in marketing. 20% increase in operating expenses. Pre-provision earnings increased 34% to 5.5 billion. Provision for credit losses increased 9.1 billion from 9. Okay. Net charge-offs 3.1 billion, 7.9 billion loan reserves. Okay. Anything about the guidance? We completed the acquisition of Discover on, is that a bank? Okay, I don't know. I thought Discover, I guess it was, I'm not American, so I don't know what American banks you guys have over there. On May 18th, we are fully mobilized and hard at work at integration, which is going well. CEO said we're excited as ever by the expanding set of opportunities to grow and create value as combined. So revenue missed. However, EPS big beat. I don't really see anything about the guidance on the report over there. This is a 31% increase in sales from same period last year. So 31% growth for a bank is actually decent. 31% growth, and you're also beating EPS by 74% by same period last year. So it makes sense why you're getting this monster move after hours with very light volume, however. So looking for pullback, look for the pullbacks to hold above 222 for us to join on the long side. If you guys are interested, there's also Perplexity, where you can check out COF. Perplexity doesn't have a search option? Come on, Perplexity. Earnings. So this is the transcript from their earnings call. You can go through that, or you can quickly read their analysis and extrapolate extra information. You can look at previous earnings reports, see how, I'm not sure if this is the percentage of growth or the percentage of stock is moved. I'm guessing the implied volatility. Oh, there you go. Average 1-day change 3%. 3%. Okay, so they're expecting about a 3% change overall. That's not a bad move for a $200 name. So let's look at it playing out for us. Hopefully we can get a nice dip buy opportunity, or we might have to look for the money trade on COF. So I'm going to quickly put that in the notes. Look for dip buy above 222 and or the money trade to set up. So watching COF for a nice trade opportunity. Very good earnings report, if I may say so. Next one is KSS. KSS. Wait, they didn't report earnings. So not KSS, it's ENPH. KSS is one of those squeeze names, so we'll talk about that when we're getting into the squeeze basket. Next one is ENPH, one of your energy names, reporting today after hours, 69 cents, beating estimates of 63 cents. This is a 60% increase from same period last year, 43 cents. Company reported 363 million, beating estimates of 359 million. This is a 19% increase from same period last year. Not bad at all. Okay, growth on both sides over there. ENPH. Let's go check out. Actually, I also wanted to do this really quick. Go into FinViz and grab COFs. Okay, I'm getting ad blasted. PE for COF, even though it's at basically at all, I'm not sure if it's at all-time high. Maybe I should confirm that. Even though it's so high at the moment, near 200, it's basically at all-time highs. It's at all-time highs, breaking all-time highs. And PE is so cheap on that, right? You're getting a 10 PE, so even more for reason. When you're growing the way you're growing, you have such a cheap PE. COF looks amazing for a day trade tomorrow. Might just be the one and done, the Juan and done tomorrow trade that we really need. We might not need any other setups besides that. ENPH, quickly take a look at this one. Ooh, last time big miss. Ooh, big misses quarter over quarter over quarter, and now kind of turning the corner. So that's a little important. Let's go take a look if ENPH even made a move today after hours. And oh, what? Initially a move up and then got completely smoked. So just not getting any sort of traction. No breaks on this stock at all. I'm pretty sure SEDG, which is in the same space today, had a nice breakout. SEDG broke out today above that $28 area, closed into the high a day. So not a bad move on SEDG, but its competitor ENPH, not sure if it's in the same competitor basket, but I thought it was a competitor. Initially breaking higher and then getting slammed back down. I think if at any point the stock does trade above 44 tomorrow, things could get spicy, so I will leave it in the watch list and I will give it an orange priority. For now, I think it doesn't deserve to get a purple priority because I don't care to trade the stock to the short side unless it gets below like what, 38.50 or something. I was really more so looking for the long above the 44, so the fact that it's not giving me that, I don't think I want to go out there looking for another setup or another trade idea. COF already has me excited enough, and I'm convinced that I could potentially make money on that one. Let's head over to the next setup, next stock, which is TXN. This one got absolutely destroyed. Usually I have an earnings VWAP. Where did that go? Yes, that one. Not session. Can we go with earnings? Thank you. And then can we turn off the bands? And then can we go with dotted lines, white? All right. Okay. So that white VWAP dotted line is the earnings VWAP, and now why does the chart look so weird? It looks like the chart is tilted. Am I tripping? Is my screen tilted? Am I drunk? Chart, is that candle look straight to you? Seems like it's on an angle. Anyways, TXN reported earnings today after hours. I think it's this little... it's the previous earnings anchored VWAP that's absolutely messing with my brain. I think that's what it is. Hold up. Let me try this, chat. It's messing with me, and I don't like it. Nope. It's still the same. Anyways, moving on. TXN looks like a horrible report. Let's go quickly read about it. TXN Texas Instruments. What happened to you, buddy? I remember back in high school using your calculators. I guess AI tools are gonna kill Texas Instruments, huh? I didn't even think about that. Second quarter, Tuesday after the bell. Here's a rundown on the report. Q2 revenue 4.4 billion versus 4.3 billion. So that's a beat. EPS 1.41 versus 1.33. That's a beat. Revenue climbed by 16% year over year and 9% quarterly, led by continued broad recovery in the industry. Looks like they're actually growing. Reported 6.4% in billion in cash flow and operations over the 12 trailing months and 1.8 billion in free cash flow over the same period. Over the past 12 months, we invested 3.9 billion in R&D and SG&A, invested 4.9 billion in capital expenditure. Oh, that's great. What about the outlook? Is that's where we're taking a beating? Expects third quarter revenue 4.45 to 4.48, so quarter over quarter kind of in line or growing, versus 4.53 billion, but not meeting the expectations. Company expects third quarter earnings to be between 1.3 to 1.6 versus 1.48, so kind of in line. Not really. However, market just didn't like it. I'm guessing something to do with the conference call. I guess this actually not even the conference call, because we started the drop right at the earnings report time and then extended the drop on the conference call. You can see how the stock basically pushes right back into the previous anchored VWAP from the last earnings report. So that's pretty cool how that plays out. And 189 also happens to be the daily 200-day moving average area. So that's the 190, 189 area to keep an eye out for. So Texas Instruments, very, very interesting. The report's not as bad as the move is, so might have to do a little bit more research. Maybe something in the transcript that we're missing out. It is guided lower, so I shouldn't say it's not as bad. They are guiding lower, but this is a stock that's growing year to year. Let's go quickly take a look at their what is it? PE ratio, which is a little bit high. You know, COF at all-time highs at 10, and this is at 40. So PE ratio is a little bit higher. But I think when the stock is pushing into the 200-day moving average like that, right back into the 190 zone, possibly worth keeping an eye out to look to fade the short. So fade the short side by getting long around this area if we find some support. So I think Texas Instruments does make it to the high priority list tomorrow, but more so for the long side. I want to see 189 to 190 holding. If we start getting below this area, then things could get spicy. Report not as bad. They did guide lower than expectation, but stock is or company grew. So company grew and dropped into 200 DMA. Look to fade the short look to fade the move if stock can hold above 190. So watching how that can set up tomorrow for us. TXN, and we already talked about ENPH. I don't think I need to put any notes on that. I just care to see that stock above 44. If not, it's not important to me at all. Let's go to a stock that's reporting tomorrow pre-market. Well, a basket of stocks that are reporting tomorrow pre-market, and these are I think, you know, a little important. Sadly, GEV will not be as important to me because of the volume, the liquidity, and the spread. The day trade side, the stock is just, there could be easy money trades over here, but the liquidity and the spread is just not the most exciting thing at all. There's going to be better opportunities like COF or TXN tomorrow, where you can make money, actually push some size, and take advantage of the day one earnings move. Not that you can't do the same on GE. I've just never had the easiest trades by trading on those names. So kind of not even worth leaving on the watch list for me, if I'm being honest. Next stock is AT&T. What a recovery on AT&T. If you guys remember when this drop happened, oh wow, right around one of the most important days in the world. That's pretty cool. You know, insane recovery from there on out. The stock is basically, what, a year from there now? No, 2 years from that point. 2 years from that point on out, we're right back into July from that area, and getting to see how the earnings report sets up. What a recovery. Wow. Keep an eye out for this one. Possible breaks above 29, and then holding above 29 could get exciting, but then if it's not 29, then I don't think I will be doing anything on this name. I would like to see a downside and then a pop and reject for me to maybe join the downside also, but you know, stocks only go up, chat. At least that's what I heard. Stocks only go up, so I only like to look long these days. Nah, I'm joking. I'll keep an eye out for the short side too. But if it's at the 200-day moving average, I'm talking about AT&T here. If it's already at the 200-day moving average at the $25 area, it's going to be hard to look short below 25 unless the stock gets below 25 and shows me staying power below 25. Then looking short will be a lot easier, because usually when a stock like this, a big name like this, goes into the 200-day moving average, it's very rare that you see it breaking below the 200-day unless it's into you know, markets into bearish territories, or the stock is into bearish territories, and so on. FI, another name that reports tomorrow pre-market. Only reason I put it on the watch list is I kind of like the range over here. If we get above the range, potentially worth watching on. GD, General Dynamics. So that's another name in the aerospace and defense sector to keep an eye out for. GE Veronova was one that we just had on the watch list, but we removed. The one that's reported today, LMT and RTX, those are worthy names in the aerospace and defense sector also. The defense sector got smoked today because of LMT and RTX, obviously. But if GD, let's say, reports really good, then I could easily see a reversal back to the upside on GD. Exactly same with GEV. They push to the downside because there's sympathy trading off of LMT and RTX. But if their report is good, why can't they just completely reverse this move and fly back to the north side? So keep an eye out for the sector as a whole: GD, RTX, LMT, GEV, and so on. GEV might not actually be in the aerospace and defense, actually. It's the GE that's in the aerospace and defense. So that's your sympathy trade over there. Hasbro is an awesome company because they are now getting into the Lego space. So you know, I'm a big Lego collector. Well, I shouldn't say collector, but I want to be Lego collector. If I have ridiculous amounts of money where I don't have to look at the price tags, then I would obviously be a very big Lego collector. But sadly, we're not at that price point just yet. One day, chat, one day. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and help me get there. Let's look at Hasbro to the upside, because nice flag over here after getting up to the upside already. Not phased by the market moves at all. And usually, I think when the market goes down, I think, what is it, Hasbro, Mattel, Food, and so on, they actually go higher. If I remember correctly, that's the scenario. Especially during what is it? Recession? I don't know why during recession Hasbro goes up. Am I thinking right? Usually food items go up. Anyways, Hasbro, just looking at the chart over here, and the important catalyst tomorrow, which is the day trade, I am very much in, you know, very much keen to watch the stock play out tomorrow above the $79 area and push for a bigger move to the upside. Right now, already above the 200-day. Let's go to the weekly chart. We're just above the 200 weekly moving average, and also a nice little flag, above the 200-week average over here forming on Hasbro. On a positive report, I mean, this stock could easily start flying back into the $100 and into the all-time high area. But on a negative report, that kind of changes the situation completely. So watch out for this one. I think whatever time they report pre-market, I might be looking out for the stock as a swing trade. And then once I get into the office, obviously I'll be watching this stock for a day trade also. So put some alerts for yourselves, because I will be putting some alerts for myself right now. Putting an alert right there at Hasbro. NEE, a name that reports again tomorrow pre-market, already on a little bit of an ascent slash breakout over here. Yesterday we broke out. Today basically a continuation of said breakout, and the stock closing at the high of day, showing you that momentum and buyers are actually pouring in. The day before the earnings report, while the market originally looked weak on the day, so all things considered, you know, it's almost like somebody knows something. There's rumors right now floating around in the same topic about Google. Somebody bought a ton of calls on Google somewhere around the $200 price point. Usually that means somebody knows something, and this is a day before they report earnings. So what do you know, my friend? What do you know? So just a couple ideas to keep an eye out for. Google, NEE. Google reports tomorrow after hours. NEE reports tomorrow pre-market. And if it starts to look strong above today's high, 77.50, 77.60, I think there is a trade over there for us to keep an eye out for. If it gaps up and then it holds on pullbacks above 78, 77.50, that's your trade over there on NEE. APH. Monster run up and just never really, I guess one day it closed below the 9-day moving average, but never really closed below the 9-day moving average. So pretty good run up over here. Not even sure what the heck this company is. Electronic components, okay. I'm guessing they're at all-time high. Wow, monster move over here on the monthly chart. Weekly chart showing you some sort of a ridiculous move also, you know, a little extended over there on the weekly if you ask me, and then a little extended on the daily too. But the daily looks a lot more stair step up instead of just the extended move up. But tomorrow on the earnings report, we'll see if things can get a little bit more violent, a little bit more extended on APH. What is your what is your, not bad for a stock that looks kind of extended to me, 50 only for APH. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out for this one. Right now I got no levels, no game plan, nothing other than the fact that, you know, the stock looks insane, and maybe things can get a little bit more wild tomorrow for us to join. The volume's actually not that bad. It's a $100 stock with 8 million shares average. On an earnings report, maybe you can see that getting into 2 times the ranges, so 2 times the volume, 2 times the ATR, and opportunities for us to play with. What is the stock's actually average daily? Average daily range is only 1.7. That's pretty lame, because that's telling me that we're not going to see an explosive move one way or the other. LMT, big breakdown today on LMT. And closing at the lows, basically into the 410 area. I didn't read the report. Maybe you guys did, so you guys can educate me over here if the report would really deserve to be sold off like that. But big move nevertheless. I think 410, 400. You have these $10 levels on LMT to keep an eye out for, like 420, 410, 400, and you can possibly look to play off of those areas. I think more importantly for me right now is this 420 to 422 area, which is where earnings VWAP is, where today's VWAP is. So on any pop, continuing to see rejection around that zone might be worth keeping an eye out for a short on LMT. So 420 to 420, 250. You could even just say 423. You have this $3 zone over here on LMT to potentially look for a day 2 short. So if stock at the level mentioned, look for day 2 short setup. Okay. HAS, what was the HAS game plan? This is why you put notes, chat. This is why you put notes. 79. Getting above 79 and holding above it on dips. I like long. Also, it'd be nice if you can spell a little bit. Jesus Christ, buddy. NEE. NEE. Pretty strong move yesterday going into ER today. Stock needs to stay above 77.50 to look long. Yeah, I'm only looking long. I mean, there's too much of action here for me to care about to look for the short just yet. Okay, Nvidia had a pretty dark day today. Nvidia basically closed under 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green days. Was it green days? Well, 3 green days and 2 red days area low, basically closing below the 9-day moving average, triggering a lot of my shares for profit. So sadly getting out of my Nvidia trade for most of my size. Now I have very little size left on Nvidia, but showing you that, hey, selling is coming into the market a little bit. When you are seeing craziness like KSS breaking out, like GME going insane, the GME not truly going insane, but you know, GME had some volume and a pop yesterday into the close, not into the close, but just before the close. So just showing you that the meme cycle is getting kind of in play again, and when the meme cycle gets in play, those are signs that the market might have topped out for temporarily. Market topping out, potentially time to take some profits. You're seeing some de-risking off the table as clearly the cycle is in the meme cycle area, and you don't want to be involved in the meme cycle. Let the meme cycle die out, let it play out. You can day trade it, do whatever, swing it really quickly. Once the meme cycle's over, then we can potentially see some good opportunities, setups, and trades come into play again. But GME, honestly, if you're holding above 24.50 tomorrow on GME, given the fact that all these squeezers are going a little nuts at the moment. Where is DNUT? Do we have DNUT on the watch list yet? We do not. Since all these stocks are going a little crazy already, if GME does get above 24.50, what is today's high? 25, basically 25, and start looking bullish above that area, potentially worth keeping an eye on. KSS, they got an upgrade, and that upgrade takes the stock up near 50% on the day. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you guys. I really don't know what else to tell you. Like, if this doesn't tell you that the market is in crazy euphoric stages, this is like the sign. The signs are just so blatantly obvious in front of you at the moment. So be careful. I think day 2 is more for on the short side for me. So looking for today's midpoint, which is around $16. Today's VWAP, which is around $15 to come into play. And if the stock does look weak around that area, potentially some weakness. It's actually $17 is where today's midpoint is. So 1680 to 17, yesterday's midpoint. Is it 1688? So keep an eye out. If the stock is able to build support above that area, no short. But if we're building some resistance below that area, then I'm obviously interested to see how that plays out. Donut, nice little breakout on Donut. That's actually a decent breakout on Donut if you ask me. So holding above today's candle midpoint, 372 to 361, which is that range high. So 361 to 3.72 will be on watch If we're staying above that, potentially even getting back above 4 tomorrow, given the fact that the stock has a high short squeeze, meme cycle getting fun, so potentially we can look for a long over there. If stock is above levels mentioned or 4, look to join the squeeze. Okay, if above, it's the same thing. Okay, look for yesterday's midpoint to reject. If holding above it, I don't know what to say. Okay. Circle apparently got smoked back to the downside. So this is why you actually wait for the confirmation that the stock is holding above the anchored VWAP. And you can see how that anchored VWAP did not hold, so support did not come through, and now you're potentially getting that longer term anchored VWAP support breaking, and then you wait for the pullback and reject to join for the short side if that's what you're interested in. But the circle pushing back into the range area over here. However, you know, just a name that I've been ignoring for the past few days, past few weeks. So might just be in the basket again until we actually start getting back under these range lows, which might be very soon with the way it's playing out, or we just go back here, find support, and don't really break below this area because Cathy Wood just keeps buying up that zone. So keep an eye out for circle. I think it's going to take a couple of days for us to even think about a setup over there. Right now, no real game plan for me or even worth on the watch list. Philip Morris, day 1 today, fairly weak. I'm not sure I'm going to be interested for a day 2 on this name, given how many names we have for proper day 1 setups, and also it's a boomer name. You know, yes, it's sold off a little bit, but do I really think it's gonna give me a big opportunity tomorrow? Not really. If there is a short below 162.37, okay, I'll eat my words, and maybe there is a short that sets up tomorrow, but I don't think we even get below 160 tomorrow, right? Potentially a stock gets below 162.30. What is it? 162.37 is that range low. Let's just say 162.50, and then I wouldn't down. I think it just goes into 160 and bounces from 160. I don't think it keeps on flushing into like what 150 and so on. We might need to read the earnings report to dive deeper as to if I'm bearish or bullish on this name, but you know, just not on the priority basket for me at all. GM got absolutely smoked. I was surprised to see it below $50. It actually closed below 49. That's pretty shocking. So watch for GM maybe for a day 2 setup. You know, look for it to pop back into the 200-day moving average and then struggle around that 200-day area. So basically 50 to 50. Jesus, what happened? Oh, there we go. 50 to 50 area. If that area acts as a resistance, potentially worth keeping an eye out for a day 2 short on GM. QuantumScape, like I said, basically a day 1 all over again. So maybe a long to keep an eye out for, but no real game plan on level side other than the fact that keep an eye out for yesterday's high, yesterday's low, last week's high, last week's low, and all those kind of technical levels. They're in EMAs and so on. So QuantumScape just on the watch list. I have no clue what levels to even use at this moment. The stock is insane with that reversal. You have that $15 high to keep an eye out for. You have the $14 level to keep an eye out for from the past. So a couple zones in this whole pocket that makes the stock very murky in my opinion, but very, very fun at the same time because of those reasons. DHI. Nice break back above the 200-day moving average for the stock. I'll be honest, I didn't look at this name all day today. Nice volume spike also. Wow, just straight to the upside all day. So today's VWAP 150, I think that's a very easy trade for me right there. So if the stock is able to stay above 150, which is basically earnings VWAP, I'm looking to see if dip buy long is gonna give me opportunity to ride the stock back into 154, which is today's high. So look to see if stock can hold on the dip into 150 to get long day 2 setup. If not holding 150, no trade. Hopefully these notes will stop me from making up trades, chat. That's the game plan behind typing up these notes. If stock can struggle under 50, could be easy shorts back to yesterday's low or more. I don't think more, but yesterday's low. America's favorite EV company's dying. One of my friends in the Discord company was saying that today, or Discord server was saying that today. Okay, time to look at some of the stocks that chat wants to talk about. Victor wants me to talk about AMR. Does no volume at all, under the 200-day moving average. I don't think this is a day trade name for me at all. Reports earnings in 17 days. No clue what they do. Energy, minerals, and coal. Coal mining company. Was there any catalyst that the stock went up today? A buy rating. I mean, once a dog, always a dog for me. This stock has struggled to stay above the 200-day, got above the 200-day for a little while, and really took off. Wow. Insane run. Blast off. That's a really good chart breakout over there. This reminds me of like almost a Tesla or Nvidia breakout that took the stock into insane prices. So that's a great chart right here. But sadly, if you do your study of, I think, was it Weinstein or something like that, the 4 or 5 stages of the market, this is an obvious dead stage right now, right? The stock is in the dead stage and looking for that reversal back down. So I'm not sure this little tight move back over here is going to get me excited at all for the longer picture. For the swing trade, yeah, maybe there's a long over here, but what's the average daily range? 5%. 5% is actually not a bad range to keep an eye out for. Currently, the mineral stocks have been a little in play. No volume though. That's the sad part. It's just garbage volume for the day trade. So I don't think I'm gonna care too much about AMR. But and for the swing, I think obviously this is no longer in stage 2 or stage 1 for me. So it's in the backside of the stage, at which point it's just not worthy for me to even take a look at. Oscar, OSCR. I'm pretty sure a lot of my friends want me to take a look at this name too. I personally don't care for healthcare service stocks. I don't buy healthcare service stocks. mRNA, Pfizer, UNH are great examples. You can say that about technology too. For example, Apple, Google. Oh, Pratt, they fall too. Yeah, cool. I don't care. They go right back up. Okay, Google goes right back up. Nvidia goes right back up. Microsoft goes right back up. So I don't care if those stocks drop. But these healthcare stocks, I really have no interest in ever owning these names. Maybe like for a quick swing trade, HIMS, if it gets back above 53 is something to keep an eye out for the day trade and the swing side. But as for an investment, that's you, Victor. That's something you do. I don't invest in stocks. I don't marry companies. I make my money. I nail and bail. And for that, I think Oscar is just not the one that I care about at all. There's just way too much back and forth. It reminds me of Zim. It reminds me of a headache. It reminds me of pain in the ass. So just not worth my headache over here, to bother with names like this. So Oscar, maybe on the day trade could be something to keep an eye on when it actually gets above the range high. You can see how I already have the ranges mapped out for me, but that's a long way out. We just failed the triple top on this name. So move on from Oscar. I don't want to rant about why I hate these healthcare companies for the day trade and for the swing trade. A-Lab making a very good reversal after breaking below yesterday's low. That's actually pretty good. Monster reversal back on A-Lab also gave you a very good dip buy, a continuation VWAP, I guess, if you were looking for it right around that 112 area. That's very good to see. So I think you're going to see a little possible sideways channel forming on A-Lab after this channel came into play. A little flag and then a breakout above that flag. So watching A-Lab for the day trade, for the swing trade, I think it's going to take a couple days, however, before it does something really cool and fun for us, because the market at the moment doesn't look the best. The market is... It looks like we're in the shit market. Like, if we're watching Donut and shit like fucking... what is it? KSS and GME come into play into watch list, I really don't know what the hell this market is going to. Give me a second, chat. One of my buddies just sent me pictures of him with like needles and a hospital. I hope he's fine. So I just had to take a little quick second to shoot him a message. Sorry, chat. Get well soon, my guy. Oh man, that doesn't sound good. Okay. How to be thankful for everything you have in life, chat. For everything you have in life. Alright, ALAB, day trade, swing trade, nothing yet for me, but keeping an eye on it for sure, no doubt. Moving on to NVIDIA. So sold off today. We'll see if there's a continuation sell-off on NVIDIA, so we can keep an eye out for that one. Already basically took most of my profits out on the swing account, so nothing really on that side to talk about. Google looks very, very resilient. It did not budge today to the downside at all. It started off the day going down pretty hard with the overall market, but complete reversal right back into the green side on Google. So red to green move, and you know, shout out to Google. The day before its earnings report, you're seeing people taking big gambles, big bets on the options market. So if maybe somebody knows something, and if that's the case, we'll see it playing out possibly tomorrow intraday, or maybe even tomorrow going into the close. So that's a name to keep an eye out for. Amazon, a slight pullback, but still above the 9-day moving average, so you know, a little happy over there. Palantir closing around the 9-day moving average, so I guess you can't, no need to cry doomsday just yet. But Palantir is trying to pull back with the rest of the market too, which is expected. Also, because of the LMT and RTX earnings report, I think that might have affected Palantir a little bit, as it is in that very same sector. Robinhood, more pullback on Robinhood, so obviously getting out of more shares on Robinhood, taking more profits. SMCI pulling back again, not looking good. Now I'm actually break even on SMCI on my new position I started in this range, so obviously not looking good. But SMCI hopefully holds above the 21-day moving average and doesn't stop me out by getting below the 46 area. That would suck. One fun thing I want to show you, actually, I was doing some quick little research using Grok today. If you follow me on Twitter, you guys will be able to see all these fun research also. So Elon Musk posted a picture of cable management of the Colossus and the Grok AI training server room or whatever, right? So I asked Grok, who basically builds the or provides the infrastructure to help build all this, and it tells you it was NVIDIA, obviously, for the chips, Dell for the server supply, SMCI for the liquid cooling racks, and Oracle for the hosting of the Grok model. So here's the overall outlook of how XAI is making deals with public companies that you could potentially think about investing. And if XAI is doing this, how many other AI companies are basically doing the same? Right? You have Meta, you have Amazon, you have Baba, you have DeepSeek, and the list just keeps on going on. Perplexity. It just doesn't stop. So how many of them are trying to compete with each other and spending money non-stop? Obviously Elon's spending ridiculous amounts of money. No one's probably competing at that same level, but just to go show that these names are worth keeping an eye on. So SMCI, because of that, always stays on my watch list, and I would love for the stock to stop pulling back every goddamn day that I'm watching it. Any day I'm not watching it, it actually goes up, but any day I am watching it, it pulls back down. So maybe the secret is to not watch SMCI at all. Shopify, last but not least, obviously with the market looking a little bit sold off and crazy overall in general. A little pullback over here on Shopify as people are taking profits, looking to see if the if the 9-day moving average holds on the pullback, and then I might even buy some shares on the swing account for myself to look for the move into 129 and 130 and so on Shopify. So that's a name over there for the swing and on the day. Not really as much as the day, as much as the swing on the on that side. But I think I have a good list of names over here for tomorrow to keep an eye on for the day and the swing. And I'm excited to see what setups give us that sweet cheddar cheese. Okay, what do I need to film today for the shorts? It's already, goddamn it, 9:15. Oh, it's so late. I haven't even eaten food yet. I'm on the liquid diet, I guess. Cheers, chat. 500 billion reasons for the market to go up tomorrow, says TH. All right, let's hear 5 reasons, TH. Give it to me. Did you guys see the Jerome Powell fake news move on the market? Jerome Powell apparently resigns, and the market has a little bit of a shake off right around here. And then fake news and the market reverts right back. What a crazy time. And it was an AI post. It was an AI post that a lady... Where is she? Oh, the post is unavailable because she blocked me. Oh, she deleted the post. She deleted the post. Why wouldn't she? Because she feels stupid. Or I'm blocked. I'm not blocked. Retraction. Anyways, this was the picture here. The seal looks absolutely fake. You can see how it's AI mumbo jumbo, AI slop. Couldn't even get the text right on that seal over there. Probably because they don't want you to be able to forge documents like this so easily. So that seal is always going to be fake. And if you were really trying hard enough to make this document legit, you can easily just copy paste that seal from online and just make this document look a lot more legitimate. But whoever was trying to make this, wasn't trying to make this legitimate as hard. And the fact that idiots like this woman with 365,000 viewers, followers, sorry, didn't even recognize that was a fake post and is sharing it to the millions and millions of viewers. It's just it's shameful. It's shameful that you can't even do that such minimal homework to see if it's legitimate or not. It's crazy. And that's the market we're in, ladies and gentlemen. It's a market driven by news cycles. It's a market driven by Trump randomly waking up and saying, I'm going to fire Trump, but then going into a meeting and saying, I'm not going to do shit. So it's like, what are we actually even playing? What are we doing? It's almost like it's rigged He's gonna make the market drop. People buy the dip. And then he's gonna make the market go higher. It's just a cycle that we've seen again and again and again. It's just hilarious. Hilarious if you ask me. Okay. I need to make a quick little short idea. Clearly don't have any good trades today to talk about on my shorts. So, maybe a trade setup or two. Here's 2 trade ideas to keep an eye out for. Here's my top trade idea for July 23rd. Best day of the year. July 23rd, 2025. COF reported earnings. Monster beat on EPS and revenue. Okay. Good beat on EPS. You know what? Hold up, chat. Why am I not doing this? Hold up. Make a quick script about COF earnings report that came out today. And in this include the trade setup, which is look for a long above 222 on dips if buyers can go up. Also include watch me Monday to Friday. $8 p.m. ET in the script. No longer than 30 seconds. Let's see if we get it. Capital One just released its quarter 2 2025 earnings report with an impressive 5.48 earnings per share, well above the estimates. This is not a 30-second script, bro. This script is way longer than 30 seconds. There you go. I like that. Watch for a long above 222, especially on dips, but only if buyers step in and support that level. If that happens, we could see a momentum move higher. For more setups, watch me Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. ET on all socials. All right, chat. We have our script ready. I'm going to put the script right here, just in case I need to glance at it. Okay? And time to go to the chart. Chart. And also, I'm going to open a new layout because I want a completely blank layout for the stream recording things. Basic layout. There you go. Basic layout. COF. You can close. One day chart. Okay. Maybe I'll put it here. Okay. Alright, chat. Time to record a quick little video, okay? And then we're done for the... Oh, wait. We didn't even do... Oh my god, I have so much more work. There's an IPO tomorrow. I forgot about that. And econ calendar. Let's quickly do econ calendar and then IPO. And then I'll talk about those 2 things to keep an eye out for tomorrow. Tomorrow, 20-year bond auction, 1 o'clock. Crude numbers at 10:30. Existing home at 10 o'clock. And that's looking like that's about it. So 20-year bond auction, 1 o'clock. That's pretty important. And home sales at 10 o'clock. But other than that, pretty muted. Econ calendar, sadly. Let's quickly go over to the IPO calendar. What do we got on the IPO calendar? Tomorrow, 23rd July, you have 2 IPOs. Carl Smed, CARL, technically 3 IPOs, but 2 big ones that are worth watching. One really big one, and NIQ Global Intelligent PLC. That usually means it's a stock maybe in a different country, if I remember correctly. I think that's London. I could be wrong. Anyways, let's quickly do some research. Going to stockanalysis.com. First company is CARL, Carl's Med. $100 million deal size, 6.7 million shares being offered, $14 to $16 price area. So let me quickly scroll here. Carl, add below, NIQ, you can close. I'll copy you, 14 to 16. Don't really care about that. Okay, profile, medical commercial stage, so they actually sell stuff. Technology pioneering AI enabled personalized spine surgery solutions. I'm gonna need one. I need spine surgery so bad because I have the worst horrible posture when I go to bed and on public transit. We are focused on becoming the standard of care for spinal fusion surgery by providing personalized surgical plans and so on. Okay, do you guys make money? Ooh, 97% growth. So they're growing year to year pretty well also. That's looking good. Do you guys have a PE ratio? Let's quickly go take a look at it. You don't have a PE ratio, so not profitable yet. Market cap overall is around 400 billion for 400 million, not billion. But they are growing year over year, and it's a technology AI med company, so worth keeping an eye out for, mainly in the surgical spine surgical business. CARL. Next is NIQ. This is a bigger price stock. Quickly put that in my notes for the IPO price range. And $1 billion deal, 50 million shares being offered. Are you profitable? You are profitable, not bad. But the growth is really slowing down. You can see how year over year revenue growth year over year is really slowing down. So not really the best thing to keep an eye over there, I guess. Do you have a PE ratio? No PE ratio. $10 billion enterprise value, $6 billion market cap, $7 billion market cap overall. That's something to keep an eye out for. What do you guys do? Leading global consumer intelligence company positioned at the nexus of brands, retailers, and consumers. We manage a comprehensive and integrated ecosystem, the NIQ ecosystem, which combines proprietary data, best-in-class technology, human intelligence, and highly sophisticated software applications and analytic solutions. Our unified artificial intelligence and machine learning powered technology platform aggregates, harmonizes, and enriches vast amounts of global consumer shopping data from a myriad of diverse sources, generates rich proprietary reference data and metadata, and provides a global omni-channel view of consumer shopping behavior, the full view. Our global reach spans over 90 countries, covering approximately 85% of the world's population, leveraging our strong NIQ brand, long-term client relationships, global scales, proprietary technology, and extensive data and insights. We are positioned as a global leader in measuring, analyzing, and predicting consumer behavior in the fast-moving consumer goods, techs, and durable goods and other verticals in which we operate. I mean, those are a lot of words I just read, but that's pretty cool. I've never heard of you guys, but I guess it's because, you know, I don't really need to use the software in general. I guess what I'm seeing is they're basically, you know, they're a data analyzer. They're like Palantir. They take all of this consumer trends, consumer data, what you're buying, what you're selling, and use that metadata to basically create an overall broad picture of exactly how consumers going to spend their money and blah 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 blah. So potentially worth you know, 4, 5 billion, 6 billion, whatever that they are. But the fact that the stock is slowing down in growth is a little worrisome. At the end of the day, the only thing that I care about, I'm not an analyst, I'm a day trader. They are in the United States. They're not from a different country. So what is PLC? Publicly traded company? I don't know. NIQ United States company. You know, if it opens up and gives you good volume to trade with, you're gonna get tons of trading opportunities on this stock, without a doubt. So high priority name over here, NIQ, more than CARL. That is on the IPO watch list. Okay, so quickly going back to what I was actually going to do originally is talk about COF. Let's quickly record this video and call it a night for myself, because I need to eat food, make dinner, or sorry, make lunch for tomorrow, and I also need to edit shorts and all that other fun stuff. Okay, chat. Record time. How about I just read the screen first, then... No. I got it. Capital One just dropped its earnings tonight after hours, and the stock is reacting well. We're looking for the stock to get above 222 and stay above it on the pullbacks. Look for buyers to show up and get long when they do. If 222 doesn't hold, there is no long tomorrow. For trade ideas like these and more, tune in Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. on all socials, streaming platforms. See you guys there. Damn it, that was horrible, chat. I didn't even zoom into the trade here. The 5-minute chart. I guess you don't really need the 5-minute chart. Let's try that one more time. Here's a day trade for tomorrow, July 23rd, 2025. Capital One Financial reported earnings today after hours. The stock is reacting really well. So far, we're already above the all-time high. So we're looking for the stock to pull back, show us support above $222, and continue to join the trend to the upside. Join me for more trade ideas like this Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. on all streaming platforms. That was much better. All right, chat. I'm going to cut that up, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for coming. Obviously, tomorrow, same time, same place, 8 o'clock. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Thank you for all my sponsors and all that fun stuff. Peace. Magnificent Seven also had a pretty good day on themselves today, so pretty good moves across the board. Tech basket get destroys. Get ready for trade off of. Get ready for the watch list for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna bring in my big screen over here. Back to another brand new week of After the After Hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow, as you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.